You will never discover your true purpose in life without introspection and action. These two things are critical in finding out what you actually want at your core and what you want out of life. So basically how I'm framing this is you'll never understand what you want out of life and never truly get what you want out of life if you don't self-reflect. If you don't take into account the experiences that you've been through and evaluate and make the decision of whether or not they are aligning with how you want to live your life. If you just go through the rest of your life, or if you go through your whole life just floating through the wind, that saying, go with the flow, then you will just be at the mercy of other people's desires of how they want you to fit into their mold and their vision of how they see your life. If you just go to college because your parents say that you need to go to college to get a good job, or if you just say yes to getting married just because, oh yeah, I've been with this person for a couple of years, so why not? And you kind of succumb to their pressure without it really truly being what you want, then what is the purpose of your life other than to fit into the mold of what other people are asking of you? If you're doing the things that your parents want, like going to college to get a good job, but it's not really what you want out of life, maybe you want to be, I don't know, a hobo traveler living in the mountains or living in the woods. You want to be a monk meditating in the mountains, but your parents are saying, oh, you need to go to college and be an engineer or be a doctor, then you're not going to be truly fulfilled with your life, because at your core, whether maybe you might not even realize it actually, if you're not doing any introspection, then you won't be truly fulfilled, but then you won't know why, because you haven't done any self-reflection and looking into, hey, are these decisions that I'm making in my life, am I even making those decisions for myself, or are other people making the decisions for me? So introspection is definitely key in figuring out what you want with your life. There's a couple ways to do it. A lot of the common ways through self-improvement that they recommend is journaling, which I think is definitely great. Getting your thoughts out of your brain and onto paper really helps you kind of work through the different things that are going on in your head, because it can all seem so disorganized when it's just bouncing around in your brain rather than when it's cemented on paper and you're actually logically going about solving the problems that are in your life or whatnot. And I think meditating is another way that you can go about introspection. Granted, I think meditation is more or less kind of trying to center yourself and get out of your thoughts, because you're just trying to calm your mind and slow things down a little bit when you're meditating, or at least that's how I'm seeing it. But another way that you can kind of go about finding your purpose is through action. And, when you combine action and introspection together, that is kind of when you are able to unlock the potential to figure out what you want out of life. So through action, you're getting out of your head as well. It's like journaling. You're getting out of your head and actually experimenting and trying out different things. Say that you just went to college just because your parents said that you needed to get a good job. So, going through that, you're taking action and you're taking classes, and maybe you're getting jobs after college that are related to your degree, or maybe you're not. And then you figure out, by going through those experiences, by self-reflecting on them, using your introspection, reflecting on those moments and saying, all right, are these actions and the decisions that I'm making, do they reflect what I actually want out of life, or am I just doing them to please other people? And then you can kind of discern for yourself and make the adjustments accordingly and say, okay, I know that I've been doing school for these 4 years, but this isn't really what I want out of my life. And it does take a strong desire to, or it takes a strong person in general to be able to cut things off and correct course, especially into the unknown, because, everybody preaches that having a college degree is a secure backup plan. And, I guess it can't really hurt to have, aside from, maybe having a ton of debt involved in it if you take on a lot of debt to acquire a college degree. But I think that, it takes a lot of guts to be able to be like, all right, I've already gone through like 3 years of college. I'm literally 1 year away, but this is just not what I want out of life. So I'm going to drop out of college and then go pursue something else, right? And then I think that it also takes a strong understanding of knowing what you want, because I don't know, you can just drop out of college if you decide that it's not for you, but then if you don't have any alternative route to be like, all right, I know that college isn't for me, but maybe doing this is for me, then that gives you a clear path of like a reasoning why you're dropping out of college. But if you're just dropping out of college for no apparent reason, then maybe it's a little bit more questionable. If your reason is because there's a lot of debt involved, then I think that's a decent reason as well. But other than that, aside from the whole dropping out of college talk, I think that, being able to go experience things, because if you're just introspecting all the time and just thinking about what you might want out of life, you're never really testing those theories. So say you're journaling and you're like, oh, I think I'd really want to, help people out by being a YouTuber, right? And by trying to become an influencer like I'm doing right here talking to you. And then you never make a single video, but you just think about, oh yeah, that'd be really nice to go try to help people with self-improvement and spread that message, but you never actually go out and take action towards it, then you'll never really truly know if that's what you've wanted. And then even so, maybe you go through it for a couple months, you upload, a bunch of videos, but then you realize, hey, this really is not for me. Maybe I still have the core inherent purpose of wanting to help people, but maybe through YouTube videos isn't it. Maybe it's through helping people, being a personal trainer and working on their dream bodies. So you can achieve your end result in different ways, and the whole purpose of taking action is to figure out what the ideal method in achieving your true purpose is. So I think that's the rant that I wanted to go on today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Remember to stay on target.